Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Amethyst and we've got a big question to be answered in Wuthering Waves. Is power creeping a thing? Is power creeping a problem? We're going to find out in this video today, and we're going to be reacting to Steorg's latest video, Is Power Creep a Thing in Wuthering Waves? If you enjoy this video, hit that like and subscribe button. I upload as many times per week as possible, on average 3. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. Is power creeping a thing?
Yo, since we got Jinhsi and we know the kit of Shangli, a lot of people were talking about the power creep in Wuthering Waves and how Jinhsi is so powerful. So today we want to know if this actually exists. Is the game having some power creep? And the main two characters that we're going to...
I think the game suffers heavily from power creeping if the future releases are going to be like Jinhsi's release, in my opinion. Because if you look at like characters like Jiyan, Jiyan's very good. He's still very good to this day because he has a unique thing, things that he can do that Jinhsi can't do. For instance, his dragon, when you summon his dragon, is like an instant parry. Like if you got his ultimate up, he's most likely 90% of the time going to parry, and that's going to be a very viable thing to do in boss fights, right? A very good thing to do in boss fights. But then Jinhsi came along. That's a good cup of joe, that. Jinhsi came along and essentially changed the game with her damage, because she is probably, she's a living nuclear bomb in Wuthering Waves. She literally nukes everything. Everything. She literally comes in the field. I summon Jinhsi to the field. You know, combo, then you activate her skill, then you do a couple of dodges and you build up her gauge, and then you see that golden button flashing for her skill, and then next thing you know, you got Shenron coming around with a hyper beam and just nukes the whole playing field. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's insane. And no other character can come close to such damage. I have, as of right now, playing the game, when I use Jinhsi to the best of her ability, she is dishing out a minimum. Now, this isn't just like, this is like bare minimum. Like, I've not got any lower than this. Just from her E, her golden E with the dragon's hyper beam, 45,000 damage. That's as a bare minimum. I think I got 87 to 90,000 damage on my highest. If I built her a little bit more, then it would be higher. But we're closing in on 100,000 damage. Like, that's insane to me. Insane damage.
Talk about our Jiyan and Jinhsi, and I know a lot of people don't like to see a lot of graphs and numbers, so I want to make this video as fast and as short as possible just to give you how it works. So to start off, let me say this: Jinhsi is more powerful than Jiyan. This is undebatable. The character does more damage in less time, and you can say that she can do 5% more damage half the time, so we can say that she does 10% more damage, which is a good number. So she's not really a big power creep for Jiyan. She doesn't blow him out of the game, because Jiyan also has something else that Jinhsi doesn't have, which is the power of brain dead gameplay and the Onga Bunga counters. Jinhsi requires you
That's what I'm talking about. Like, see that, like with his like brain dead gameplay and ultimate counters, because it's literally like he is. I hate saying this game's click. I don't want to say this game's clicking simulator, but when Jiyan activates his ultimate, it is just click, 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 as fast as you possibly can until his ultimate runs dry, because that is literally what you do with Jiyan. And he's near enough invincible when an enemy goes to attack and it's a parryable attack, like you can parry the attack, is almost always going to get parried.
Of brain dead gameplay and the Onga Bunga counters. Jinhsi requires you to play on a faster rotations to get some stacks and things like that. All you have to do with Jiyan when you press the ult is just click left click once and you're going to have so much free counters. So this is 1 point for Jiyan. Another thing is, how good is he in grouping? So Jinhsi is good at grouping, by the way. This character is very good at
That's
grouping,
the hyper beam move.
but still not better than Jiyan.
86,000 damage.
Jinhsi does more damage in less time. So if you want to do damage as Jiyan is going to be a little slow at the start. But then he's gonna pick up and make the same amount of damage as Jinhsi, but he will need more seconds to do all of that, while Jinhsi will be already ending all of her rotation. But he's better at grouping and way easier to play. But now if
he's way easier to play. If Hi Kalkara, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. If you wanted to choose the easier character, Jiyan is without a doubt your pick. Jiyan is without a doubt your pick because he is his kit makes him a lot easier to use, especially if you're a player that isn't very good at the dodge, parrying, and quick swapping, and but utilizing the team to the best of its ability. Jiyan is a character that that is going to make that not a problem for you, so you don't need to worry too much about delving too deep into the mechanics of your entire team, because Jiyan is literally going to just help you out there because he's just very, very good at the counters, the parries for you. His damage is good enough, is more than enough. But if you want, Jinhsi's overkill. Jinhsi is overkill, but if you want her maximum damage, you need a team that synergizes well with her to give it the most optimal buffs, in my opinion, to give her the maximum amount of damage. Okay, and that's at I've got her S1. I was lucky enough to get her S1. You don't even need her S1. S0, she still nukes teams and nukes enemies.
If we compare both teams, the Jinhsi team is crazy good. It's way more powerful, and that's because of Yinlin. Yinlin is a very powerful character, and if we put two characters that are limited, probably the best support for now, or the best sub DPS with Jinhsi now, compared to Mortefi, there's no comparison. And keep in mind, these calculations are in the current Tower of Adversity, and the problem with this is that this Tower of Adversity is good for Jinhsi. So with all of that said, this explains why I told people who already got Jiyan and don't have a lot of posts to go for Shangli instead of Jinhsi, and people who got Yinlin to go for Jinhsi easy.
Actually, I run Jinhsi with my Yuan Wu and Yinlin because those two with Jinhsi make Jinhsi not just a nuclear bomb, a hydrogen atom galactic bomb that makes her damage so immense that you don't even need to worry about anything. The only thing you need to worry about is just not to, just rely. Just if you can dodge, okay, you're fine. If you can dodge at a decent amount and at a decent level, then you're more than fine. You're more than okay.
Easily. But if we look at it now, this is only 1.0. So I would say that Kuro passed the test of power creep. This is good. This balance doesn't look bad. Also, Shangli looks like the same thing. I cannot confirm Shangli is not a huge power creep, but as far as I see, she's not even way powerful than Jinhsi. She can even have a little less damage output. So 1.1 looks like a success in terms of...
In other words, Jinhsi is the main... I'm going to keep it simple for you. If you want a nuke and the best damage dealer in the game, go for Jinhsi. If you want arguably what is looking like the best sub DPS in the game, you'll say for Shangli, because that is what Shangli is looking to be, the best sub DPS in the game, who is going to synergize immensely well with the likes of Jiyan. So if you're a Jiyan main, say for Shangli. If you're a Yinlin main, same for Jinhsi. That's exactly what Stjorg has just said.
Balance, but if we keep going with 10%, 10%,
eventually
in every single update, in 1 year from now, we will have new characters that are way more powerful. But
here's the thing: if the characters that keep releasing, even though Jinhsi and Shangli are like just a slight step above 1.0's 5 stars, by the time we get to like 1.6, those 1.6 characters will make Jiyan and Yinlin look like ants. And these Titan 1.6 5 stars will come down and just crash down on the heavens and just change the game completely. But we'll see. We shall see how the releases go for the future.
This will only be a problem if the content gets harder the more we progress, because then they will have to add supports that do buff the older characters or new sets that buff the older characters.
They need to release 4 stars. They need to release 4 stars. They need to release more 4 stars. That's it. Just release 4 stars that are direct supports to these other characters. You don't need to rely on 5-star supports. Release 4-star supports that are going to co-feature on the main 5-star banner. We didn't get that 1.0. We didn't get that 1.1. Release brand new 4 stars for 1.2 alongside the main headline units. Even if it's 1 4-star in the second phase or the first, it doesn't matter. Just release new 4 stars that are going to support and be beneficial to the older characters if that's what people are worried about,
Or we will have the same Honkai Star Rail experience, which new characters are way better. If you get them, the game is way easier.
Whereas Hoyoverse game needs you to get this fucking character, to win the game.
But if the content in
Yeah,
Wuthering
true.
Waves will have the same difficulty, I don't think this will cause a lot of problems to players, especially holograms and other modes. The only problem will be the Tower of Adversity modes, and we might get more modes in the future that require stats more than skills. So yeah, Skuro Games have to be careful about this in the future, and I hope they are, but other than that, 1.1, there's no power creep in the game. Everything is good for now. If you have Jiyan, you didn't lose the game. Jiyan is still very, very, very good. Anyway, if you don't subscribe now, you're gonna lose your 50-50. Bye-bye.
I won my 50-50 on Jinhsi, and I got an S1 50-50, so it's all good. Thank you, Steelg. I subscribed, and I liked the video. We're all good here. But yeah, in my personal opinion, I do honestly believe that Jiyan and Yinlin are still two very viable characters as of right now, but Jinxi's damage is just immense. If you want a nuke, I'm sorry, she is by far the best DPS in the game, and Changli's looking to be the best sub DPS in the game. But through 1.1 and potentially 1.2, if you do have Jiyan or Yinlin, they are still going to be viable for the next couple of patches, so you don't need to worry. However, if you want the most optimal and most up-to-date damage and stats and overall best as of right now, then yeah, the new units look like they're going to be the new meta. But meta doesn't matter. Meta doesn't matter. Go for who you want to go for. But thank you guys so much for watching on YouTube. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy and have a good one.